Okay, so today we're going to have a look at the Altair Arduino emulator in a little bit more depth than we did before. So if you missed the previous video about my Altair 8800 computer, this is an Arduino clone of the Altair 8800 that I bought on eBay. There's a link in the video description to the shop where I bought this board. I made the case myself and this fascia just to give it a little bit more nostalgic value. And just this week I've actually just added some little feet on there so that it stands on the desk and looks a bit more the part. Anyway, what we're going to do today, we'll get this hooked up to a terminal and we're going to explore some of the stuff that's on there, some of the disk images that we get with the Altair Arduino, and we'll maybe play some games. So I built this so that I can just take that back panel off, and I've accommodated a bit of extra space in there. As you can see, the emulator doesn't really take up very much space at all, but I thought I'd leave all of this space in there so that I can store maybe a power brick in there if I want to and run this off a USB power supply, or I can store my cables and all sorts of other things in there. Anyway, so we're just going to use that USB cable today. So we'll just put the case back on like that for now. So we're just going to connect up the Altair Arduino clone. We're just going to hit aux1, which gives us the list of standard programs we could load into this. Now we could play Kill the Bit, we could play Pong on the LEDs or on the terminal, we could load BASIC and write something. But what we're going to look at today is something perhaps a little bit more in depth. We're going to load a couple of disk images and we're going to see what's on there and see if we can play a game maybe or something. So the first thing I need to do is actually have a look and see about disk images. So there are some disk images included with this on the SD card. So we can have a look and see what they are, because if we just set these front panel switches like so and press aux2, that will give us a list of all of the programs, or rather all of the disk images that are available for us there. So we've got CP/M, which is an operating system, we've got Altair DOS, we've got some games, we've got SuperCalc, WordStar, Zork, which is a text adventure game. We're going to have a look at that, I think. So what we need to do, it's a CP/M game, so we need to load CP/M first. So we're going to mount the CP/M disk in drive 0 and mount the Zork disk in drive 1, and then we're going to boot it and see what happens. So we're going to mount in drive 0. This is the drive number. We're going to mount disk number 1 in drive 0. Let's have a look and see what happens when we do that. So there we go, mounted disk 1 in drive 0. That's correct. Now we're going to mount in drive 1. There we go. And we're going to mount in drive 1. We're going to mount the Zork game, which is that one. So there we go. So we've mounted 2 disks. Now we need to go back to that boot ROM, disk boot ROM, which is that one there. So what we're going to do now is hit that and hit aux1. Let's get the terminal back down to the bottom so we can see what's going on. And that will mount, there we go, it's booted from disk 0. And we've got CP/M, so we've got an operating system. We can have a look and see what files are on there. There are actually some files right there on the A drive. Let's have a look and see what we got on the B drive, which is the other disk we mounted. There we go. So Zork is on the other drive. Now I think before we play Zork, let's just have a look and see what else we've got on here. So back on the A drive, we've got a bunch of games on here actually, and various other programs and so on, and some of these are quite cool. There's a game called Ladder, which is essentially it's essentially Donkey Kong in a very, very basic form. Let's have a look at that. So let's have a look at the instructions. Okay. Right, up is 8, down is 2. 8, 2. Oh, it's the right. Okay, so it's the arrow keys on the number pad. So it's nagging me. Come on, we don't want to wait. Right. Okay. So jump is space. Stop is any other key. Right. So let's play the game. P. And well, there we go. In a terminal, here we are. We have got a very kind of basic Donkey Kong type of game. Let's see what we can do. So that's my character at the bottom, and there I go. I can jump. I can climb the ladder. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, look at that. Can you believe we are playing a game in a terminal emulator? I know what's happened to me now. I think I'm stuck somewhere. Ah, I got stuck in a trap. Should have jumped over that. Oh, now I'm stuck in a... Oh no, there's a little ladder up there, so... Here we go, okay. Blimey, I think that top layer is going to be a bit hard to play. Oh, I'm dead. Anyway, so... So that's one of the games. So, interesting what you can do with really, really basic resources. In a terminal emulator in CPM on an Altair 8800, people were able to play graphical games. Well, kind of graphical games. Anyway, let's have a look and see what else we have got on here. There's MBasic, which is actually Microsoft 80 Basic. There are so many dialects of BASIC available on this computer. It's quite interesting. Haven't really decided which one I like to use the most yet. But anyway, let's crack on. Let's get to the meat of this, which is we're going to play Zork. Oh, stupid. Look at that. I actually need to do Zork 1. Have we got various versions of Zork? Have we got Zork 1, 2 and 3 on here? Well, maybe we have. So it's loading Zork. There we go. And we are now playing a text adventure. Now, this is what adventure games used to be like. This is a kind of, well, I guess probably the modern day equivalent of this is a kind of first-person exploration game. But this one just told you what you were seeing and you had to interact with it by text. So it says you're standing in an open field west of a white house with a boarded front door. There's a small mailbox here. Let's open the mailbox. There's a leaflet inside the mailbox. So if we do read leaflet, oh, it's taken it, and now here we are. Introduction. Zork is a game of adventure, danger, and low cunning. In it, you will explore some of the most amazing territory ever seen by mortals. No computer should be without one. Okay. So we don't have an awful lot of choices. We are standing west of a white house, so let's try going north. North of a house. You're facing the north side of a white house. There's no door here. All the windows are boarded up. To the north, a narrow path winds through the trees. Well, now we'll try going east. You're behind a white house. A path leads into the forest to the east. In one corner of the house, there's a small window which is slightly ajar. Interesting. Let's open that up, shall we? Okay. Right, so we're now inside the house. We're in the kitchen. There's a table. There's an elongated brown sack smelling of hot peppers. Okay. We'll get the garlic. I don't know if we're going to come across any vampires or anything like that later. You never know. That might be handy. So what have we got? Okay. Well, let's get the sack as well. Actually, that might be useful for putting things in. We will, of course, eventually run out of carrying capacity, and then we've got to start being judicious about what we actually pick up and carry. So there's a passage to the west and a staircase leading upwards. Well, let's go west. You're in the living room. There's a doorway to the east, a wooden door with a strange Gothic lettering to the west, which appears to be nailed shut. Trophy case, a large oriental rug in the centre of the room. Let's open the case. Oh, there's a sword. Well, that sounds like it could be handy. I don't think we'll go down the trapdoor just yet. Maybe a bit later. Let's go back east to the kitchen, and then we'll go up the staircase. We've moved into a dark place. It's pitch black. You're likely to be eaten by a grue. Okay, we'll go down for the moment, and then we'll say switch on lantern. No, I think it's turn on lantern. We'll say turn on lantern. Now we'll go up. Let's have a look. Okay, this is the attic. The only exit is a stairway leading down. A large coil of rope is lying on the corner. On the table is a nasty looking knife. Okay. Well, the only way now is down, I think. Oh, we're in the kitchen. We need to go west, then down into the trapdoor. So we're in a trapdoor. There's a faint blue glow. That means, well, if we remember our Lord of the Rings, that means there's orcs nearby. There's a crawlway. It's a passageway leading north and a crawlway to the south. Well, I think we'll go north. The troll room. This is a small room with passages to the east and south and a forbidding hole leading west. Bloodstains and deep scratches, perhaps made by an axe, mar the walls. A nasty-looking troll brandishing a bloody axe blocks all passages out of the room. Your sword has begun to glow very brightly. Okay, we still have most of our things. I think we've lost the sword. Damn it. Well, as you can see, there's lots of fun to be had here. It's actually quite a, even though it's textual, there's quite a rich world to be explored here. I'm probably going to stop now because otherwise we'll be here all night. But that's a little taste of what Zork is like. Zork is a text adventure. Let's exit. Oh, how do we get out of here? Okay, we can either type quit to quit the game, or we can we've been resurrected after killing ourselves with the knife. But anyway, I'm going to quit now because that's probably enough of that. And we're back in CPM. So let's just have a look. So Zork 2 and Zork 3. I wonder if yes. This is, so we've got 3 versions of Zork on here. So if we played all the way through the first one, we've got 2 others that we could play. So there we go. That's just a little taste of the kinds of things you can do on this Altair 8800 computer. Everything we've seen on that little green screen there is running on here. Now it's running on an emulation of an Altair 8800 that's running on an Arduino. So it might at first seem a bit unfair to be surprised at how much this thing can do, except that everything we've looked at here was a function of the original Altair 8800 computer. I mean, we've cut a few corners in terms of loading disks. We've just loaded them from an SD card. But if you had an Altair 8800 computer and you had the right interfaces and disk drives or tape drives or whatever, then you would be able to load those programs and do the same things that we've done today. So I hope that was interesting. That was just another little taste of the Altair 8800. We'll probably do some more of these. If you've got any requests as to things you want me to have a look at on here, then please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.